Hello, everybody. This is Alan Devlin with Atlanta News First joining you this happy Thursday evening in March 16th, I do believe. I'm doing that off the top of my head, so I'm hoping we're going to be right with there. Again, I'm an anchor here with Atlanta News First. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be discussing some of the top stories going on here in the Metro this fine Thursday. And then later on, I want to show you this before I even get started. Bam, look at that. A wonderful tail end of the sunset over downtown Atlanta. Patrick Pete's going to be joining us discussing the highs and the lows as we enter our first day of spring on Monday. So if you are sick of this cold, guess what? You won't have to be dealing with it too much longer. So I've got 4 stories I want to talk about today. The first one is one that's going to be tough for any animal lovers anywhere, and I know there's a lot of you guys out there. Unfortunately, right now, the Dekalb County Sheriff's Office is investigating a serious case of animal abuse that happened. It was a viral video that took to the internet, and a woman reported it to the Sheriff's Office, but they haven't been able to find the man seen in the video abusing this poor dog. So, with that, I'm going to let Zach Summers take it away from here. He'll be able to walk you through this story. And, we're trying to find this suspect pictured in the pictures. If you recognize him, call police. Take a listen.
I was just appalled.
Sonia is a rescue dog owner who lives in East Atlanta. On Monday, she saw a video on the Nextdoor app of a man violently abusing a dog and knew she had to do something.
I'll never get it out of my mind.
In the video, you see a man chasing after a dog. What happens next is too graphic for TV, but the man punches the animal before grabbing it by the neck and slamming it against a concrete wall.
It just breaks my heart that this happens.
Sonia was able to figure out the location of the incident by looking at details in the video. Those clues led her to the Highlands at East Atlanta Apartments on Flat Shoals Road.
We knew what the stairwell looked like, so that's what we were kind of going out of, going based on that.
She filed a report with DeKalb County Animal Services on Tuesday. This picture shows one of the department's trucks on site hours later. But Sonia says all she's heard from Animal Services is that the incident is under investigation. No word on if they found the dog or the well-being of the animal.
I'm just frustrated with these agencies, these organizations that should be helping this animal.
DeKalb County Animal Services refused to respond to our inquiries on Thursday. However, DeKalb County Police confirmed they are assisting the agency in finding the man in the video.
I'm just worried. I'll always be wondering if they don't find the man and the dog, what happened to this dog. And that's the hardest part, is kind of the unknown.
And of course, Atlanta News First we're not going to show you that video. It is tough to watch. It's all over the internet right now. And yeah, right now the goal is to find and save that dog and hope that this does not happen again. The next story I want to walk you guys through here is a story we've been covering for quite a while as this legislative session continues to roll forward. Doug Reardon was at the state capitol today for SB 140, which is basically a gender-affirming bill ban for anyone under the age of 18. It's going to prevent anyone under the age of 18 from undergoing any kind of gender-affirming treatments or surgeries. You've got a back and forth on this one. You've got those who are for it, who are saying that it is not it's a good idea, saying that anyone under the age of 18 should not be making a decision of that caliber, a permanent decision at that, before they turn 18. The other side of that is saying, look, this is not a situation that is described by age, and there are a lot of situations where people under the age of 18 would want something like this to be able to happen. And so with that in mind, we are working on getting the new details on that. And, excuse me one second, I've got an issue here with some of my systems on the right side of my screen here. I'm going to look into that for you guys really quick. There we go. I apologize. Yeah, that system didn't click over there when I first clicked it as far as the lower third, what was on the bottom of your screen there. Now we're good to go. So, like I was saying, there are people who say that there is no age limit or barrier on making a decision like this. When you're 12 or 14 or 16 and you feel the need to make that transition, you should be able to do so. So we got both sides of this, but I want to let you listen to one of the parents who were there who says that this ability to change genders before 18 saved their daughter's life. Take a listen.
The suicidality among trans youth it's extremely high, much higher than their peers. And statistics have shown that that number goes down dramatically when kids are able to receive gender-affirming care. And we saw that in our own home.
And so that one, of course, moving forward, it does look like it will become law. It's in the final stages right now. So once we get the final word on that, Doug Reardon will continue to cover that at the Capitol. Real quick, something I want to go into, and I hope my system's going to work for me this time around. All right, it is going to work there, the lower third on the bottom of your screen. Right now, police are investigating a homicide on Hill Street, 363 Hill Street. It's a very busy area with some restaurants and some businesses around there. Atlanta News First is on that scene. We do know that one person is dead at a shooting there on Hill Street. Once we get more information, we'll be sure to let you know, but we are continuing to allow police to do their jobs and inform us on any updates that come out of this homicide investigation. Again, that going down right now at 363 Hill Street. If you are in that area, police are asking you to avoid that area if possible. Last story I want to walk into here is a story we've been covering now for about 2 years, and this is actually the 2-year anniversary for this story. You remember it well. 2 years ago today, Robert Aaron Long opened fire at a slew of spas, killing, specifically targeting Asian men and women. Majority of the people who were deceased at his hand were Asian in this incident. And today it's been exactly 2 years since that happened. In total, 8 women and men were killed, and Robert Long, the alleged shooter in this incident, pleaded guilty. And that sentencing and the rest of his case still moving forward. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. It was through 2 different jurisdictions, so they are seeking the death penalty in one of those 2. Rebecca Schramm has more on this tragic story and how the victims' families and other Asian Americans here in Georgia are working to ensure that something like this, what they're calling a hate crime, never happens again.
2 things are happening today to honor the victims. One is a rally happening at the Georgia Freight Depot a couple of blocks from here, getting underway right now. Another just happened here at the state capitol. All of this being organized by members of the Georgia Legislative Asian American Pacific Islander Caucus. It's to honor the lives of the 8 people killed during that shooting spree 2 years ago today. 6 of the victims, Asian American women. The spas where the killings happened were in 2 jurisdictions. Robert Aaron Long, who is now 23 years old, pleaded guilty in Cherokee County and is serving 4 life sentences in that case. Here in Fulton County, the district attorney is seeking the death penalty, and she's also seeking sentencing enhancements under Georgia's hate crimes statute. According to police, after the shootings, Long told investigators he targeted the businesses not because of race, but because he had a sex addiction and wanted to eliminate temptation. He also said he initially planned to kill himself. Still, a lot of Asian Americans felt traumatized by the killings, especially loved ones of the people who were killed. Here's the son of one of the victims.
We're not alone, but we are grieving together as a community. My mother was robbed of her voice, her life at 63, her liberty, and her pursuit of happiness was taken from her. It was taken through a violent expression of hatred and gun violence. Today, we are no longer satisfied with thoughts and prayers.
The group is planning another event tomorrow night, a screening of a documentary about the shootings that will take place in Johns Creek. At the state capitol, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
Tough story there. We've got continued coverage of this anniversary, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, coming up tonight at 9, 10, and 11. We'll be on Peachtree TV at 9 and 10 as scheduled. We'll be coming into coverage on WANF at 11 o'clock, beginning as soon as the March Madness games are over. Tori Cooper's going to be carrying that story forward for us. And again, Robert Long, guilty in these shootings. They're now working on the sentencing and the hate crime part of that investigation, of that court case, I should say, as well. We're going to make a hard right turn here, and we're going to talk about something going on that kind of impacts all of us, and that is the weather. It's gotten a little bit darker since I showed you the beginning of at the beginning of this broadcast what the skyline looked like. That sun's setting a little bit more right now. Patrick Pete here to walk us through what the next couple of hours, couple of days are going to look like. Patrick, we've got a first alert tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir. We're talking about rain coming back into the forecast as we head into St. Patrick's Day. I know lots of you are looking forward to some time outside. I wish that I had better news for St. Patrick's Day, but thankfully the weekend is going to be dry, and based off of a little bit of research I did online, there's lots of St. Patrick's Day shenanigans that are going to be going on into your Saturday. So let's talk about that first alert, which is for widespread rain and even some rumbles of thunder. We could see some thunderstorms in the afternoon, but we're not going to see enough energy for them to be severe. So rumbles of thunder, heavy rain, that's going to be our big problem for the day. And then cooling and drying as we head into the weekend. Sunday's going to be a cold day, so make sure that you bundle up. I know a lot of folks like to do Sunday fun day. That's not going to be outdoors for sure this weekend. I think Sunday fun day is going to be Netflixing on the couch. Meanwhile, dry into the beginning of next week, and then eventually some milder numbers are going to come back into view. But we have to get through this first alert first, which is for that rain. All day parts are first alerted for tomorrow because we're going to see that early line of showers moving into northwest Georgia, 6, 7, 8 a.m., sliding through LJ and Canton and Rome. And as we get closer to around lunchtime, we'll see more of that moisture make its way into the metro. And we're going to see moisture lifting from the southwest to the northeast as this cold front pushes in. So expecting folks in places like LaGrange and Griffin and Eatonton, even Athens, to pick up a little bit more rain than the rest of us. You can see those showers are going to be lingering through the 3 o'clock after school pickup for the kids into the 5 o'clock drive. Eventually, we'll start to see things clearing out as we head into your Friday night, which it's good for everybody who's looking to step out. It's still going to be a little bit of dampness out there, and still a little bit of stray shower activities. Hooty hoo and go house. What's going on, Mike? Meanwhile, those winds are going to be elevated as well, especially as we head into the afternoon. We're talking about winds gusting 20, 25 miles per hour. That's going to allow for the temperatures to warm up a little bit, but it's going to be cloudy and dreary through the day parts. We'll start off a little bit milder than the last couple of mornings, actually nearly 20 plus degrees warmer across the region, as we're going to be in the low to mid 50s for the morning drive, climbing into the upper 50s near 60 around lunchtime. So going to be pretty manageable as long as you can dodge those showers, have that umbrella on standby, numbers cooling down as we push into the evening hours. As far as rain is concerned, we're talking about getting a good significant amount of rain with this event. We've been telling you for the last couple of days, we thought that 1 inch widespread was going to likely be the outcome, and we're sticking with that, except we think that a couple of locations are going to pick up a little bit more than that 1 inch. Still a low flooding concern just because it's not enough. It's going to be so slow moving that we're not expecting this to be a widespread issue. Meanwhile, on the backside of this system, cooler air builds in, and by Sunday, we're going to see a lot of folks starting off the day at or below freezing. So here's your hour-by-hour play of Saturday, because that's going to be the first day in the weekend. And the morning is going to be chilly. It's going to be cooler than the morning will be tomorrow. We'll start off the day in the mid to upper 30s here in Atlanta. Some low 30s in places like Blairsville. Meanwhile, the afternoon struggles to recover into the 50s. I do think we get there for a few hours. We'll get the low 50s for 2 to 3 hours through the afternoon before cooler temperatures start to filter in. You can see that northwest wind, roughly 5 to 10 miles per hour, is just going to send those numbers plummeting as we push through the overnight hours. And that means that, unfortunately, we're going to be talking about freezing morning lows across most of the region. So we had 3 freeze warnings this week, and I do think that we could see another freeze warning to start off Sunday, as temperatures are just going to be pretty cold. So be prepared for it. If you're heading to church early Sunday morning, you can go ahead and lay out whatever your thickest outfit is, whatever you can kind of bundle up with and still look fresh like we all like to do on Sunday morning. That's what you're going to want, that thicker pea coat for sure, gentlemen. Ladies, you'll probably want yours as well. Meanwhile, temperatures are going to climb into the mid to upper 40s as we head into the afternoon. I think we top out near 49 degrees here in Atlanta before we start to cool back down heading into the evening. So here's that 7-day forecast. So, of course, you can make plans because it is a holiday weekend as St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. We're looking at clouds and rain with mild numbers. But on the backside of that system is cooler air. Saturday is going to be the milder of the 2 days, but the winds are going to be a bit breezy, so it's going to feel chilly actually both days. Sunday morning's temperatures, though, that are going to dip below freezing across most of the region. It's just going to be another bone-chilling start to the day for this time of year. Getting into the upper 40s for the afternoon, and then ringing in the first day of spring with a mild 55 degrees. I know your eyes glance to the rest of the 7-day because that's where my focus is, because those numbers look pretty nice comparison to the weekend numbers. But y'all, the 70s are going to make their return to the forecast as we head into next Thursday. So we'll get through the weekend. We're going to make the most of it. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to bundle up. We're going to obviously stay safe because it is St. Patrick's Day weekend. And we're going to get through this cold, unseasonably cold air that we have coming for the next, or at least for Saturday and Sunday. And then we're going to pay the piper and get the benefits and the rewards next Wednesday. I think a lot of folks are going to be able to get back outside and run. I actually saw folks when I was grabbing a bite to eat. They were running down 14th Street in front of the station. It was like 6 people together. I guess they're just happy because the air was so mild today. We got up to 70, which is amazing. Meanwhile, we'll be back outside next Wednesday, getting those nice jogs during the late afternoon. And then Thursday is just going to be equally as nice as this Thursday. So I'm going to leave you guys with the 7-day forecast so that you can, screenshot it, screen grab it, do what you need to do, and so that you can make your plans for the weekend. Obviously, to understand that there's one first alert in the forecast for the rain that is arriving tomorrow, and then a nice period of dry time for a few days. Y'all have a good night, and we will see you tonight at 9, 10, and 11.